What happens when a single teenager becomes so powerful that the United States government has to track his location via satellite, just like they do with his father? What happens when 5 of the most twisted mass murderers on the planet escape death row at the exact same second because they've become so bored with winning that they actually want to know what it feels like to lose? Welcome to the world of Baki Hanma. This isn't your typical martial arts story. It's a descent into the absolute limits of human biology, where muscles are forged in the fires of obsession and legendary samurai are brought back from the dead just to see if a modern fist can stop ancient steel. We are breaking down the entire modern Baki era, from the rain-slick streets of Tokyo to the final world-shaking showdown of the Hanma Bloodline. If you think you've seen peak violence, you haven't seen anything yet. Season 1, 2018, the modern saga begins with a phenomenon that defies logic: synchronization. 5 death row inmates, scattered across the globe in high-security facilities, simultaneously escape their confinements with a singular, chilling thought: I want to know defeat. These men Spec, Dorian, Hector Doyle, Sikorsky, and Ruku Yatagi possess physical capabilities that make them more like monsters than men. They have reached a level of strength where the thrill of combat has vanished, replaced by a soul-crushing boredom that can only be cured by a loss at the hands of someone truly superior. Drawn by the invisible pheromones of strength radiating from the reigning champion of the underground arena, Baki Hanma, they all converge on Tokyo to begin their hunt. The series immediately throws out the rules of the arena. This is street warfare, where weapons, traps, and psychological terror are the norm. Spec, a 97-year-old American behemoth who looks like he's in the prime of his life, is the first to strike. He confronts Baki while he is out with his girlfriend, Kazue, but is intercepted by the Yakuza legend Kaoru Hanayama. This fight sets the tone for the entire season. Spec utilizes his apnea rush, a technique that allows him to throw hundreds of high-velocity punches for 5 minutes without taking a single breath. It's a biological marvel of lung capacity and raw aggression. However, Hanayama possesses the vice grip, a grip strength so powerful it can cause human limbs to explode. Despite Spec forcing exploding bullets into Hanayama's mouth and detonating them, the Yakuza's silent honor prevails. Hanayama tackles Spec through the park, eventually crushing his throat and windpipe until the old killer finally tastes the defeat he craved. The aftermath is haunting. Spec's body finally admits its true age, and he rapidly withers into an aged, bedridden shell of a man. Simultaneously, the philosopher-assassin Dorian, a man who attained the title of Kaiyu in China but abandoned it for a life of murder, infiltrates the Shinshinkai Karate Dojo. He humiliates hundreds of practitioners using hidden nano-razor wires and explosives before being confronted by the god of war, Dappo Orochi. This battle highlights the fundamental difference between a martial artist and a killer. Dappo relies on perfected, traditional technique, while Dorian uses every underhanded trick imaginable, from grease on his skin to a bomb implanted in his own wrist. Despite Dorian's attempts at hypnosis, Dappo's refined karate, which he considers the ultimate weapon, prevails. Dorian eventually regresses to a childlike state after his spirit is broken by the realization that he has never truly won a fight without the help of gimmicks. As the conflict escalates, the remaining convicts engage in various skirmishes with Baki's allies. Hector Doyle, whose body is a walking arsenal of hidden blades and springs, undergoes a spiritual transformation after being shown mercy by Retsu Kaiyu. In contrast, Sikorsky and Ryuku Yanagi remain defiant. Sikorsky, the Russian master of grip strength, is lured into the underground arena where he is systematically dismantled by the unorthodox Gaia. Gaia uses environmental camouflage and psychological terror, hiding in the sand and bone fragments of the arena, to strike Sikorsky from the shadows until the Russian killer begs for mercy. Finally, Ryuku Yanagi, the Way of the Void Master, utilizes his vacuum palm to knock out opponents by removing oxygen from the air. He eventually leaves Baki with a parting gift that nearly ends the series, a slow-acting, yin variant of the poison hand that begins to rot Baki's body from the inside out, reducing the young champion to a skeletal, dying ghost. Season 2, 2020, Baki's life is hanging by a thread as the narrative moves to China. Retsu Kaiyu, desperate to save his friend, brings the emaciated Baki to participate in the Great Raitai Tournament. This centennial event crowns the Sea Emperor and serves as a clash between the Chinese Martial Arts Association and an international team composed of Baki, Yujiro Hanma, Retsu, Muhammad Ali Jr., and Biscuit Oliva. Baki is a shadow of his former self, coughing up blood and weighing almost nothing, but Retsu has a secret plan. He believes that the only cure for the Japanese variant of the poison in Baki's system is to expose him to the Yang poison of China. Baki's critical moment arrives in his match against Caillou Lai, the greatest poison master in China. As Lai strikes Baki with his Yang poison hand, the two variants of the toxin interact within Baki's bloodstream. This chemical reaction, combined with Baki's sheer willpower and his legendary Hanma genetics, effectively neutralizes the poisons. Baki undergoes a Zenkai recovery, his body instantly returning to its peak muscular form as he consumes 14 kilograms of sugar water mixed by Retsu to provide the necessary calories for his hyper-accelerated metabolism. Baki defeats Lai with ease, marking his triumphant return to the world of the living. The highlight of the Raitai Tournament is the final showdown between Ultimate Violence, Yujiro Hanma, and Ultimate Martial Arts, Caillou Kaku. Kaku, at 146 years old, represents the peak of Chinese technique. He utilizes Shaoli, a technique of total relaxation that allows him to absorb any impact like a feather and return it with devastating force. For a moment, it seems like technique might actually trump raw power. However, Yujiro is unimpressed. He activates his demon back, the physical manifestation of the Hanma genetics, where his back muscles form the face of a demon, granting him superhuman strength and durability. Realizing he cannot win physically, Kaku fakes his own death by stopping his heart. Yujiro, recognizing the craftiness of the old man, declares it a draw, though the physical dominance of the Hanma remains unquestioned. Following the tournament, Muhammad Ali Jr., son of the legendary boxer, emerges as a major rival. Ali Jr. has refined his father's style into a complete martial art that emphasizes finishing an opponent before they can react. He defeats masters like Dappo Urachi and Goki Shibukawa in quick succession, but his arc serves as a brutal critique of the athlete in a world of warriors. While he is faster and more precise than the veterans, he lacks the psychological readiness for a fight to the death. In rematches, the veterans show him no mercy. Jack Hanma, Baki's half-brother, delivers a devastating beating that breaks Ali Jr.'s jaw and his spirit. By the time Ali Jr. faces Baki in the Tokyo Dome, he is a broken man. Baki finishes him in 3 moves, demonstrating that while Ali Jr. is a master of sport, Baki is a master of survival. Ali Jr. leaves Tokyo in tears, a victim of his own inability to cross the threshold into true combat. Baki Hanma, Season 1, 2021. With his rivals surpassed, Baki begins specific training to defeat his father, Yujiro. This phase introduces shadow fighting, a form of visualization training so intense that Baki's brain creates physical manifestations of his opponents. Baki visualizes a 100-kilogram praying mantis, reasoning that an insect of that size would be the most dangerous predator on the planet. The struggle is terrifying. Baki suffers real physical trauma, shattered ribs, and deep lacerations from an opponent that exists only in his mind. This is credited to Baki's demon brain, an X-ray-confirmed anomaly where his brain folds form the face of a demon, granting him superhuman learning and visualization capabilities. To further his evolution, Baki travels to the Arizona State Prison, the Black Pentagon, to challenge Biscuit Oliva, the strongest man in the USA. Inside, he encounters Jun Givaru, a revolutionary who uses Earth logic to fight, claiming his strength is linked to the rotation of the planet. The Great Prison Battle saga culminates in a pure test of strength between Baki and Oliva. Oliva is a wall of pure muscle who can tense his body into a spherical ball that is impenetrable to normal strikes. Baki, however, abandons all technique and matches Oliva's brute force in a direct slugfest. By overpowering Oliva through pure strength and durability, Baki earns the title of Unchained and proves he is finally approaching his father's level. Baki Hanma Season 2, 2023, the world of Baki is thrown into chaos when scientists discover a prehistoric man named Pickle, preserved in a rock salt formation alongside a Tyrannosaurus rex in Colorado. Pickle is a perfect predator from the Jurassic era who hunted and ate dinosaurs for sustenance. His revival in modern Japan draws the attention of every major fighter who view him as the ultimate test of their skills. The Pickle Wars are among the most brutal in the series. Retsu Caillou is the first to fight Pickle, but his Chinese kenpo is ineffective against the caveman's raw power. Pickle eventually devours Retsu's leg, treating the master as nothing more than prey. Katsumi Arachi, seeking to redeem the honor of his father Dappo, perfects the mock fist with the help of Kaku Kyu. By visualizing his skeleton as a set of multiple joints, he creates supersonic strikes that knock Pickle down for the first time in history. However, the force of the impact mangles Katsumi's arm, reducing it to bone and ligaments as his flesh is torn apart by the sound barrier. Pickle, showing a rare sign of respect, refuses to eat Katsumi and instead prays for him. Jack Hanma also challenges Pickle, leading to a gruesome biting contest that ends with Jack's jaw being shattered and the skin ripped from his face. Finally, Baki enters the arena. He uses his visualization to project himself as a dinosaur hybrid, confusing Pickle's instincts. The fight ends when Baki challenges Pickle to a direct trade of blows. Pickle, sensing he might lose, instinctively uses a martial arts technique, the weapon of the weak, to throw Baki. Baki is declared the moral winner, as he forced a primitive god to rely on human technique to survive. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Hanma dynasty and the evolution of Baki, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth anime recaps. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a breakdown of the strongest creatures on Earth. Stay strong, and we'll see you in the next one.